Hey everyone, it's CL. Another week has gone by, which means it's once again time for me to update you all on how I'm doing with the no spending money on extras challenge that I put myself on for the month of August. We have reached the halfway point. After this update, I only have 2 more updates and then I'm done with the challenge. So I'm very excited and I'm very happy to report that this week went incredibly well for me personally. I did not have any temptations and I was able to occupy my mind, and I am still doing well with my grocery budget, but I also have a week and a half left to go. So I'm hoping that I can still stay on budget, but we shall see. So let me go ahead and summarize the week for you. Like I said, I've been preoccupying my mind, and what I have been doing this week, of course I've still been going to the gym, but also I got into a new manga series, and I think it really helps to get into a series that you really like and really look forward to reading, because it preoccupies your mind, so you're not, in your free time, you're not going on the internet where, you know, you tend to fall into shopping and just impulsively buying things off the internet. For me in particular, my problem areas is Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So instead of going to those sites, I look forward to, after work, after the gym, I look forward to picking up the manga that I'm reading, because it's really exciting. I really like it, and it focuses my attention in a different area that doesn't cost money. So I'm very, very proud about that. So as far as my grocery budget, I am still under budget, but keep in mind I still have a week and a half left. But let me go ahead and give you some numbers. So last week I spent $156.30 because I needed to restock my refrigerator and my pantry, because the week prior I didn't really buy much. So this week, today, I went to the store and spent $105.85 on groceries. Now, I do have to admit that some of the things I bought this week was something I didn't really need per se. I mean, do you need a bag of potato chips? Probably not. But I decided to go ahead and get some things that, you know, it's not like fruits and vegetables, but some snacks that I withheld myself from getting 2 weeks prior. And I indulged a little bit and bought a case of root beer because I love root beer. So I decided, you know what, I'm doing really well. I'm gonna go ahead and buy root beer, and I'm just going to, you know, take it out of my grocery budget, because essentially I have a grocery budget. I can buy whatever I want at the grocery store. The idea is to just stay within the budget. So all in all, my budget is $450 for the month of August, and so far I spent $320.49, and that means I have $129 for a week and a half. So I'm hoping that I can somehow, some way pull it off to where I can stay within my budget. But then again, I have to remind you that I'm not very talented in the kitchen. So it's not like I can just have like a bag of flour and some eggs and whip up some amazing thing. So I'm hoping some way, somehow, I can make some decent meals with the remaining budget that I have and the remaining stuff that I have in my refrigerator. Hello, I'm back. My memory card got full and I had to stop this production and empty it, and now I'm back and I need to regroup because it cut off right when I was in the middle of telling you something. So let's go ahead and get situated and pick up where I left off, and hopefully I'm not repeating myself too much because I don't remember where I left off. All right, so let me think, where can I pick up? So in the beginning of the video I mentioned that overall I'm doing really well with the challenge. This week in particular, I am doing so good because I haven't been tempted, and just overall doing really well. Now, I cannot say the same for my husband. In all honesty, my husband is falling apart at the seams. Like, you can see he is really struggling with not spending money on extra things, and he is falling apart. On Friday, he came home from work. When he comes home from work, I always go out there and greet him, like, how was work? How was your day? When I went into the kitchen area, I seen 2 little red squares on the kitchen counter, and those red squares were Redbox movie rentals, which is not a big deal. Rentals are only a little over $1, but I was like, oh, what's this all about? And he's like, I just wanted to rent movies. It's cheaper than iTunes, which it is. And, you know, I didn't get on his case about it. It's only a little over $1, but that is, you can kind of see how he's starting to really fall apart mentally as far as restraint. You know, it's not easy to have so much freedom one month as far as spending habits, and then this month we're challenging ourselves to really rein it in and change our habits quite suddenly. So he is falling apart. Like today, he asked me if I wanted to go to the mall, and I shut him down. This wasn't going to be like the Renaissance Fair all over again. I was like, people don't go to the mall to not buy things, and you know I'm not spending money on extras this month, and I know that if I go to the mall I'm gonna be so tempted, because you don't go to the mall and not buy something, right? So I shut him down, and he looked all sorts of disappointed, and I kind of was like, well, is there something in particular that you wanted to get? Is there something you needed? And he was like, no, I just wanted to walk around, which is fine if that was really the case, that we'd walk around and not buy stuff. But we ended up going to Kohl's today to get my daughter school shoes, because school is starting soon. And like I said in my very first video, I do not consider school stuff a extra. That is absolute need. She needs these shoes because she wears a uniform to school, and they have a specific type and color of shoe that you have to wear. So we went to Kohl's purposely to buy her school shoes, and I was walking around, and we passed, on the way to the shoes, we passed like this display. They have all their fall stuff out and their Halloween stuff out, and I love that stuff. I love decorating for like fall and Halloween and Christmas. And I was looking at all their little things that they had out, their candle holders, their picture frames, and I thought they were really cute. But inside I was not tempted at all. I was just able to look at it and admire it, but not feel tempted at all that I wanted to buy it. So I was feeling really good about that. And then after I was done looking at those displays, I headed towards the shoes, and I could see the shoes in sight, and I turn around and my husband is nowhere to be found. It's just me and my daughter heading towards the shoes, and I was looking around, I'm like, where is he? And I was like, okay, he knows we're going to the shoes, we'll meet him there. So in the shoe section, I went through the entire process of finding the shoe, finding the right color, finding the right size, having my kid try them on, having her walk back and forth and run around to see how they fit, and that entire process. And then he was still nowhere to be found. I did not even see him in the shoe section at all. So finally I decide, I'm like, you know what, these shoes aren't great. They're okay, but she said they kind of hurt, so let's go ahead and find different shoes at a different place, because if you're going to spend money on something, and especially if it's supposed to last all year, you want to make sure that it's worth your money. So we leave the shoe section, and I find my husband in the men's section. You could really see him struggling mentally. He's like looking at a pair of shorts that he really likes. Not that he needs shorts. I mean, it's almost fall, and he has plenty of shorts, I assure you, that are close to still new. And I can see him like picking up shirts and asking me like, do you like this shirt? Do you think this would look nice on me? Which is the normal process that he goes through when he buys clothes. And I was like, and I didn't say anything, you know, you pick your battles, and he's a grown man, he can make his own decisions. So I was like, yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, those shorts look nice. I like that color. And I let him do his own thing, let him go through his own mental process. And in the end, he put everything down. He's like, no, I don't need those. So I was very proud of him, but you can really see that he was struggling. So after Kohl's, we go to a shoe place. I forget the name of the shoe store, but they specifically only sell shoes. So we go there to look for my daughter's shoes. And once again, once we walk in the door, me and my daughter are together looking for school shoes, and my husband is off in his own section. So I went through the entire process of, again, finding the shoe, asking my daughter which one she liked, if they were comfortable, and all that other stuff. And finally, we pick the shoes that she's gonna wear for school. I go and find my husband, and he has like shoes that he's trying on. He took off his shoes, he's trying on shoes, he's walking back and forth and really debating like, should I get these shoes? My shoes are worn out, these would be really nice for work. And I'm like, yeah. And once again, you know, he's a grown man, he can make his own decisions. So I kind of just hung out, and when he asked me questions, I would answer them like, yeah, they look nice. Yeah, walking back and forth. They look nice on you. This style also looks nice if you want that one. It's buy one, get one free. And I let him do his thing while I kind of just was there for support and just kind of waiting, you know. If he wanted to get those, he's more than able to. I mean, if anything, I'm still doing well with the challenge. He is kind of struggling. But in the end, he tried on like multiple pairs of shoe. But in the end, he was like, no, I don't need them right now. But it was an entire process. It was an entire process for him, which, you know, of course, I'm still proud of him. And of course, I'm still glad that he was able to still realize, you know, do you really need that right now? And he was able to say no. So yeah, but I have this feeling though that he is really falling apart and that next week he might fall into some old habits, but maybe if I remind him that we only have a week and a half left, that he will still be able to find a second wind and still stay true to the challenge with me. But either way, overall, we're doing really well. We saved an incredible amount of money reining it in. It wasn't a perfect month, but we did a great job. And on the way home from getting shoes, on the car ride all the way home, he brought up the conversation of, do you miss going to restaurants? As if he's been in prison for half a decade. He's like, do you miss going to restaurants? Do you miss that freedom? And I was like, yeah, I miss going to restaurants. You still have that temptation, but it's nice still having that money in your bank account. Like when we would go to Joe's Crab Shack, we would spend like $90 on one meal. So in some senses, yes, it's fun going out to restaurants. It really tastes good. Like Joe's Crab Shack is so delicious, but at the same time, it's kind of nice not spending $90 on one meal. So it's tough. It's tough because you can't have the best of both worlds, at least not at this point. But yeah, that was the entire car conversation home. Whether or not we miss restaurants, whether or not we can remember the taste of delicious food. But yes, I'm hoping he can still hang in there for a week and a week and a half. So we shall see. So that is pretty much my update for this week. It's going to be another late night upload, so I hope you all don't mind. Yeah. So once again, if you want to see a couple clips from this week, and I mean just a couple, I didn't take too much great footage. Like I took some footage, but when I was going through it, it was really wobbly and too quick where you couldn't see anything. I really need to work on that, like purposely vlog something for the sole purpose that another person will see it. So I need to work on that because my camera work is pretty terrible. So if you're interested to see a few additional clips, stay tuned. But other than that, thank you all for listening to my update. 2 more updates to go, so we will see how I pull through. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.